They laughed when we cautioned them, chuckled softly, condescendingly, comfortable in their godlike dominance. Humanity, gentle, sympathetic diplomats, whose biggest weapons were empathy and principles. They forgot one scary detail. Predators grin before they strike, and the most patient hunter is the one you never see coming. They laughed at us. Not the loud, boisterous laugh of genuine amusement, but the chilly, dismissive chuckle that ripples quietly from arrogant lips, comfortable in superiority. I remember their laughter vividly. The echoes imprinted into my memory forever as scars. That laughter sealed their doom, though they didn't know it yet. I stood calmly by Ambassador Elias Cross, as he addressed the Galactic Council for the first and last time. We humans were new among these ancient powers, fascinating novelties in their enormous cosmic tapestry. Elias spoke calmly, his voice mild yet piercing, filled with a genuineness that rang from his very bones. Council members, he continued softly, his tone quiet but strong. We came to the stars searching for allies, for partners among the unknown. We provided compassion, serenity, our hearts open to friendship. The council sat above us, creatures, ancient and powerful beings, whose sight alone commanded loyalty from civilizations across the galaxy. One leaned forward slightly, its eyes sparkling with amused harshness. You speak about friendship, human. Relationship among equals is unusual. Among unequals, impossible. You should learn your place. It snarled, its voice dripping with contempt. Elias never wavered, never raised his voice. We have uncovered your hidden labs, your secret experiments. You stole innocents from our worlds, tortured them, dissected them in your search for knowledge. We have proof. A wave of amused disbelief went through the assembly, whispers laced with chilly indifference. The council member's mouth twisted into a sinister grin, teeth shining like polished swords. And what would you have us do? Ambassador Cross asked. Your pardon? End our pursuit of knowledge merely because it hurts your frail sensitivities? You are prey, and we are predators. It is the natural order of things. Elias's eyes hardened. Only I observed the shift, the subtle narrowing of his gaze, the silent tightening of his jaw. He spoke softly, his words purposeful and precise. You underestimate humanity. You confuse our sympathy for weakness, our diplomacy for impotence. Listen. Listen closely. End this savagery now, or we will hunt you forever. Laughter filled the chamber. Gentle, condescending, harsh laughter. Elias turned aside, strolling calmly from the council chambers. He spoke no more. Years passed. Humanity remained outwardly peaceful, openly diplomatic. Our civilization flourished, dazzling brilliantly amid the stars. Yet beneath our sweet facade, an invisible blade was sharpened in the black ghost fall. Elias withdrew from public view, retreating into the shadows. I followed him. Together, we fashioned a new kind of warfare. Not brute force, but the stealthy blade of sabotage, deception, manipulation. Our sympathy became our disguise. Our diplomacy, our diversion. Humanity learned patience, and we prepared for revenge. The council remained blissfully unaware of the quiet horrors awaiting them. They abducted more innocents, continued their covert atrocities. Their arrogance blinded them to the storm gathering beneath their feet. One night, I found Elias alone, sitting peacefully in his chambers. He glanced at a small, flickering hollow projection. His wife, his child, bright faces forever lost. His voice came quietly, bearing a tinge of sadness. They laughed. He mumbled, voice distant. I warned them, didn't I? You did, I replied quietly. But hubris blinds even gods. He turned, eyes sharp with new resolve. Then it's time we reminded them of terror. Ghost fall hit gently, invisible. Council laboratories burned into silent flames across the galaxy. Experimental data vanished. Abducted captives disappeared, rescued without a trace. Every attack untraceable. Each incident perfectly designed. Paranoia seeped into the council's once confident hearts. Accusations whispered, blame poisoned their trust. Friendships collapsed, allies turned upon one another. Nevertheless, never did they suspect humanity. Humanity who still appeared naive, sympathetic, innocent. When the council summoned an emergency summit, panic blossomed beneath those arrogant eyes. I watched from afar, listening through phantom falls, silent monitoring equipment, as the council members gathered nervously. Finally, Elias stood before them once again. Older, grayer, serene as death. They watched, disbelief and distrust colliding in their eyes. You dare return, human? A council elder snarled, fear poorly masked beneath arrogance. What madness drives you? Elias quietly started the giant hollow projector above them. The chamber was flooded with vivid, indisputable proof of their crimes. Terrible pictures, agony and anguish. Countless innocents from many worlds, including ours. Cries filled the hall. Every eye widened, frozen by shame or terror. You dubbed yourselves predators, Elias murmured, voice frigid as ice. Yet predators do not torture their victims for enjoyment. You laughed at us. You laughed when I warned you. The council leader stood, quivering with wrath. We were your superiors. You were nothing. You can never challenge us. Elias stared uncompromisingly, his voice soft, hauntingly soft. Our strength was never our weapons, never our technology. It was patience, cunning, and the memory of injustice. The chamber fell silent. Anxiety thickened the air. The elder screamed, despair trembling in his voice. How could mere humans achieve this? Elias's gaze remained cold. Because we learn. We adapt. We never forget. The council had sealed their own fate. Their empire collapsed, not by human hands, but by their own hubris. Elias turned, preparing to leave. The council elder cried out, desperation conquering pride. Please, mercy! Elias paused. He stared back quietly. Mercy? His voice was gentle, yet it resonated forcefully. Mercy was the gift we initially offered. Mercy was in our kindness, our openness, our readiness to forgive. You laughed at mercy. Now you plead for it. The elders stared, broken and silent. Humanity's greatest weapon is not violence, but memory. They laughed at our compassion. Now we take theirs. Elias left, footsteps echoing quietly behind him. The council collapsed, shadows of their former authority. Humanity returned to its serene front. Our diplomats smiling, our actions untraceable. And across the galaxy, one whispered truth spread like wildfire. Never underestimate humanity. Because humanity will hunt you forever. Mild, relentless pressure. Elias Cross stood amidst the mayhem he'd so patiently cultivated. Not with a conqueror's arrogance, but with quiet focus. A predator examining prey. Dispersing following a single, decisive strike. I waited by Elias's side as news streamed in from every corner of the galaxy. Planets releasing themselves. Alien races demanding justice. The council raced in terror, their grasp loosening as their own people rose against horrors they could no longer deny. How long did you prepare this? I asked Elias quietly, feeling awe and anxiety in equal proportion. From the minute they laughed, he replied quietly, his gaze never wavering from the galaxy-wide broadcasts flooding every network. We warned them clearly. They chose hubris over humility. We only gave them enough rope. Counselor Varys's face emerged on television, suddenly desperate. Untidy eyes wild with panic. He pleaded directly to Elias. The galaxy watching in startled stillness. Ambassador Cross, stop this craziness. Your species preaches morality, compassion, peace. But you unleash chaos and anguish. Elias stepped closer to the transmission. Eyes narrowing slightly, voice measured, chillingly calm. No, Counselor. Pandemonium is your legacy. You founded your empire on agony and cruelty. Humanity merely tore down the drapes, revealing the creatures behind them. Varys, obviously terrified, his voice cracking openly, abandoned his pride in terror. You have made your point. We surrender. We admit everything. Certainly now you would show mercy? Elias shook his head slowly, firmly. It's not my mercy you need, counselor. You owe that to the numerous civilizations you've brutalized. The innocents who begged your mercy and received none. Quiet followed, tense and profound. Varys looked helplessly, eyes darting between Elias and the watching billions. You can't simply leave us at their mercy, he screamed urgently. They'll tear us apart. Elias's reaction was chillingly gentle, resolute. You never feared mercy when it was yours to offer. You relished in cruelty, counselor. Now your victims decide your fate. Humanity will neither save nor condemn you. We've given them truth. Truth is justice enough. As the transmission ceased abruptly, Elias quietly stepped aside. He appeared smaller, burdened, yet still ferociously composed. He looked at me, recognizing the question still blazing in my eyes. You worry whether we've become monsters ourselves? Elias whispered quietly. Precisely. Reading my fears. Not monsters. I hesitated. But have we lost ourselves in vengeance? Elias shook his head slowly. We haven't lost ourselves. We reclaimed ourselves. Humanity brought peace, friendship, real compassion. They took everything we cherished and ridiculed our suffering. We replied with patience, with a plan. Not mindless vengeance.